So if you're looking for an inexpensive but yet powerful security camera for your home or business, stay tuned and I'll show you the Wyze version 3 camera and show you why it's my low-cost home security camera of choice. Hey everybody, it's Ryan with The Smart House, and today we're going to go take a look at the Wyze version 3 camera. Now, I'm a big fan of the Wyze cameras. I have numerous Wyze version 2 cameras in my house. I have a Wyze Pan. I even have one of the outdoor cameras that I've been testing for a while. So far, these are my favorite of the group. So what exactly do you get when you purchase one of these cameras? Well, it does shoot in 1080p HD. It has both onboard recording if you have an SD card and also a free 14-day cloud service. It is cloud only, so you only have the choice of using their cloud service to retrieve your videos, or if you have an SD card installed, you can pull that out and go plug it into your computer. But the only real convenient way to get video off of this camera is through their cloud service. But like I said before, it is free and you do have 14 days of retention if that's enough for you. Now, I also have some of the Ring cameras and they have a lot of the same restrictions without the ability to do local recording. So it astonishes me that these can be so inexpensive, but yet pack the same number of features. So like I said before, this has 1080p recording. It also allows you to live stream through their application. It's two-way audio, so you can speak to people using the microphone in your phone through the speaker in the camera, or listen in on a conversation using the microphone built into this camera. You also have the ability to do on-demand photos and video, so you can open up the app, take a picture. I use it all the time to take cute pictures of my twins when they're sleeping, or you can also kick off video recording if you need to record a specific event. In addition, it'll also do custom time lapses, so you can do an extended period of time automatically, having the camera take those pictures for you and then stitching them together into a video. There is a limit on the free cloud tier to only 12 seconds of recording in the cloud. So if an event is triggered, you'll get the first 12 seconds of the event. And then after that, it waits 5 minutes and then it'll trigger again on the next motion. And it can trigger on both motion and sound, which are both configurable in the application itself. You can also specify motion detection zones in the app to show when it's going to trigger recording or even notify you if there's motion in that particular zone. You can also set the threshold for the sound trigger as well. If you do install an SD card, there is the option to have continuous recording until it fills up and then it will recycle the SD card. So you can either select continuous recording on the SD card or you can have it dump motion events to the card itself for backup purposes in case you lose Wi-Fi or it loses connection. They've also recently added the feature to alert you if the onboard microphone detects the sound of a CO2 or smoke detector going off, which is a handy feature that you've started to see pop up in Nests or Google Homes. So let's talk about how you power these cameras. Now, all the Wyze cameras, except for the outdoor, are all powered off of just a standard 5-volt micro USB connector. It comes with a decently long cord in the box, about a 6-foot cord that comes in the box, and a 1 amp AC adapter. So you could power this off of any standard USB connection that as long as it gives out more than an amp. Another option that you can do with these is power these off of a PoE switch or adapter. So if you wanted to, say, extend this longer than 20 or 30 feet, because you can find 20 or 30 foot long flat cables on Amazon, but if you're looking to extend it further than that, or you want to run it more conveniently, you can actually run the power over Cat5 and then use a power over Ethernet adapter to adapt the PoE from either a switch or an adapter into the 5-volt micro USB connector. Now I have this sort of thing set up for one of my older cameras in the front of my house that has since stopped working. So then I'll reconfigure that so I can place this camera higher and also keep the cables from running through the side of my house. All right, so let's go over some of the major differences between version 2 and version 3. Like I said, I've got a number of the version 2 cameras throughout my house. The biggest change is now these are rated at IP65, which means you can have them completely outdoors in the rain. They don't need to be covered, and they are rated to survive that particular weather. So I actually have one of these cameras in my driveway right now, and it just hangs on the outside of my garage. So we'll see after a few months how that goes, but so far so good. Now, they've changed that by adding in this new pigtail connector. So the old version 2s, you power them directly by plugging them into the back. On the version 3s, now it has this pigtail connector with a little bit of a dust water guard on it that the cord just plugs directly into. In addition, they've also added an 80 decibel siren to the unit itself, so you can use that for a security feature, which you can trigger in the app. Say you see somebody checking the doors on your car that's parked outside, you can use the siren to scare them off. There's also an additional spotlight that you can add to these to be able to trigger those either via motion or in the app, but it's an additional feature that you have to purchase. And third parties have made adapted versions of these to be placed inside of a spotlight. similar to the Ring floodlight camera. So you can basically make your own Ring floodlight camera using one of these version 3s. One of the other major differences is a wider field of view. The version 3 camera has a 130-degree field of view versus the 110-degree field of view on the version 2 cameras. So that gives you an increased area of coverage for these cameras. And I find this camera, which actually sits down here in the basement, has a crystal clear picture, and I can see all the way from one end to the other with it being mounted over my TV here in the basement. So it's nice to keep an eye on the kids, and the picture is just an amazing quality for a fairly inexpensive camera. Another cool feature is it now has 2 selectable modes for your night vision. You can select either near or far wave for the infrared. In near view, you won't be able to see the infrared emitters on the front of the camera. So if that's a concern, or if you don't need that long distance visible infrared spotlight, then you can turn that off. If you do mount this outdoors, it does give you the option of turning on a longer wave infrared, but you do end up seeing the LEDs on the front of the unit itself. Now, this is a nice improvement because the version 2 does have decent night vision using infrared, but when it comes to something like being outside where you have a more infinite plane, it does lack that significantly. So if you see here on this example, this is the camera that I have mounted on my deck, and at night, when there's no other lights on, you can barely see the edge of the deck. Obviously, if a person was walking up there, they would reflect the infrared light back, but for other animals or checking on things, you can barely see anything with the version 2 camera. The version 3 is quite a bit brighter, and you can see a lot further. All right, so as I mentioned before, right out of the box, these cameras come with a free 14-day limited retention online and a limit of 12 seconds per event with a 5-minute cooldown in between clips. If you needed more than that, they have a fairly affordable WyzeCam Plus upgrade that you can make, which is $125 a month per camera. And it gives you unlimited video length. So if you have a motion event, you can have it capture the entire motion event versus just the initial first 12 seconds. Also, there's no cooldown period between your events. In addition, they also have some other cool features, like the ability to have person detection. So it uses cloud AI to figure out if the motion is being done by a bush moving or an animal, or it's actually a person. Also has package detection for if this happens to be mounted on the front of your house looking for a package being delivered. It can also detect vehicles and pets. And the nice thing about that is it can give you individualized alerts in your app, so you know if, say, your dog got out, if there's a dog in your front yard, maybe you're concerned about that, or and a vehicle's parked in your driveway and you want to get notified about that, that's an additional feature that you can do if you want to upgrade to Cam Plus. But they also have some additional features coming soon, like facial recognition. So we'll have to see what those features bring and if it's worth having that additional upgrade. Now, if you compare this to something like Ring, where you have to pay at minimum $3 per camera per month, I feel like it's a fairly decent deal if you need those additional features. I might upgrade my outside cameras to this just so I have that person detection, and it's still less than what I pay for one of my Ring cameras right now. Also, you don't have to do that. The camera's fully functional even without a cloud subscription, unlike my Ring cameras, which I stopped paying for them, they stopped functioning. One of the other things I love about the Wyze cameras is they have the flexibility in mounting. Also in the box is a large metal washer, which I can't really show today because my kids peeled it off the wall and stuck it to my TV stand, but you can actually take any metal plate or washer, and it allows you to do a quick and fairly secure connection to any wall. It just has a 3M strip on the back. You can stick it on a wall, and then the camera just magnetically sticks to that particular one, which is nice for quick and easy adjustment. If you're looking for a more permanent mount, or if you're going to mount it like in an upside down, it does have a standard keyhole here for putting a screw, and it does come with a screw in the box. There are a ton of additional mount options that are available on Amazon or your favorite retailer for other crazy mount options for these. And the part I love about it is this flexible stand that it comes with it, which is easy for mounting on a wall, mounting on a flat surface, or even hanging it upside down. So as I kind of hinted in the intro, I'm a big fan of these cameras. For the price point, something like this is almost disposable. We can use them, throw them away if they break. Not something I'm too concerned about. Versus something like my Ring stick-up cameras, where they were a fairly hefty investment. Plus, I had to buy the solar panels for them. So, I really think something like this is exactly what the market needs. Inexpensive, something you can throw in a kid's room to keep an eye on them. They make great baby monitors, which is what we've been using for the entire lifespan of my twins. We've been using the Wyze camera as their primary baby monitor. And then now with this added flexibility of being able to put it outside, it just makes it such an easy choice for a camera system. So looking at some of the pros, price point versus most of the competitors, there are some other Chinese brands out there that are in the very similar market space with the Wyze cameras, but I think the fact that the market reach of the Wyze cameras, I mean, you can go to Home Depot and buy one of these things right off the shelf. Maybe not today in July of 2021 because of supply shortages, but for years you've been able to walk right into Home Depot and grab one off the shelf. And you can't say that about many other brands of these type of cameras. The price point is fairly low for these, being at $30 normally. Right now I think they're about $36 on Amazon. You can't beat that price point for these type of cameras. The fact that they come with a free 14-day cloud storage, even if it is limited, is nice, and that you don't have to pay anything to even get the cameras to function basically. The fact that you have optional onboard 24/7 continuous recording with the SD card is a fantastic feature that, again, a lot of cameras don't have. And if the camera gets disconnected from Wi-Fi, which is my main concern about Wi-Fi cameras, it still will record on board that you can retrieve later on. And the fact that now it's water resistant and you can place it anywhere on the outside of your house, they're super simple to set up. Now for the disadvantages, one of the things I would like to see actually on board, I know they tried to do it on board at one point in time, was person detection. That's now an additional cloud service that you have to pay for. For a while they were trialing them, I think on the version 2 cameras, but I don't think the onboard hardware was enough to be able to do that type of image recognition on board. So I would have liked to see that on board, but you can't fault them for it. I would like to see an extended recording time for the free tier, or an option to say, hey, go ahead and record the full event to the onboard SD card. The 12 seconds isn't much. It just gives you an idea when motion started. So I don't find those events that useful. Obviously, if I paid the extra $125 a month, I could get the unlimited, and I might try that for a few months and see. But that, for me, almost the event recording is pointless because 12 seconds doesn't get you much of anything. And finally, and this is a disadvantage of all these type of cameras, but you have to connect them to power. There's no solar option for these type of cameras, but of course it doesn't have a battery in it, so I can't fault them for that, but that's the only reason why I would probably select something like a Ring stick-up camera or even an Arlo. If I had a location high up on an eave, out back where I don't have power, I don't want to run power to it, or I just frankly don't want to deal with it. Obviously, you can't run one of these cameras without constant 5-volt power to them. Now, they do have the new outdoor camera, which boasts a 2-month battery life on them, but I've yet to see, I'm actually still testing those right now. I'm testing one of those right now. I had some problems with the base station, but I'm looking to do a full review of those here in the next few weeks. But I would have liked to have seen an option to be able to connect one of these off of battery. So all in all, I love these cameras. I think they're great. Kind of get more than what you pay for, I think, with them. Most of the faults I find with them, I can justify with them being so inexpensive. So if you're looking for a camera system that is inexpensive, that you can use anywhere in your house or even in your business. I've seen these used at Airbnbs to monitor the doors, something you don't really care about if it gets smashed or broken. You can't beat the price point. So I definitely think it's something that I would recommend people to use, especially, like I said, it makes a great baby monitor and is certainly a whole lot less expensive than most of the video baby monitors that are out on the market today. So there you go. That's my review of the Wyze Home version 3. If you'd like to purchase one of these cameras, I've got links in the description that send you to Amazon for affiliate links. So if you want to support the channel, you can purchase the camera via the Amazon links below, and I get a small commission off of that. And another way to support the channel, if you'd like to, is you can buy me a beer by clicking this link here below. I've already had a few people buy me one, and I really appreciate it. It's a nice gesture and helps me know that this channel is a good side hustle to continue working on. So if you'd like to see more review videos like this, please let me know in the comments below. I've got, like I said, I'm working on the Wyze outdoor camera review coming up, and I've got a couple of other items that are on my review list coming up over the summer. If this video was helpful, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to be notified of new videos coming up in the next few weeks. Thank you again, and I hope you have a great rest of your summer.